What is up, you guys, and welcome to Young Family Farms. Today we're going to be taking a real quick look at all things you need to know about having backyard chickens. And we're going to be talking everything from picking out baby chicks to the infrastructure and equipment you need, brooding them, up to adult birds, and try to give you those cheat codes so you don't make some of the same mistakes we did over our last 3 years of raising chickens. Also want to give you some great resources. There's links below for everything mentioned in the video, as well as free PDF download you can find there. So yeah, without further ado. With the hens, we like ample space for our birds. There's only 3 adults in here. There will be 6, which is great. This enclosure is about 8 by 24 or so, 8 by 22. This is their main house. And then I did enclose this bush into a run area here that they can come out to in the middle of the day. They love to be able to get underneath a bush. That's naturally where they would hide from predators. So they love that feeling. Just an open space with no bushes. They don't feel so secure. Now I do have this pull it shut. I will link it below. It's an automatic solar door. It's got its own little solar panel and it has a photovoltaic sensor. So it automatically closes at dusk and dawn, and they will be in here. They go in on their own. I've never had them be locked out here, so it works great. And then that solar panel charges a little battery, a little 12-volt battery. I put it in a battery box down there just to keep it from corroding, the terminals from rusting and such. So I really like that. So this is closed up. The top is completely closed as well, including through the tree. And I had to cut the top off this tree to get wire run all the way across. Everything securely stapled everywhere though. Everything likes to eat chickens. So yeah, I would recommend really locking it down, even a lower lockdown here to keep the chances of somebody pushing through. And then underneath, I put paver stone so it wouldn't be easy to dig underneath. Next layer is the coop itself. Now I made this out of a hardy board. It's actually made of concrete. It's house siding. Reason I did that, you can see kind of concrete on the inside concrete board, is that it can be hosed down. It's not porous like wood would be. So parasites and such can't live in it. You could sterilize it, hose it down. This is a basement hopper window. I love to be able to open that up for them. But this is a completely second layer inside here. So at night, not only is this cage locked, the outer perimeter, but then they automatically go inside here into their house. This closes as well. And this again has a photovoltaic sensor and solar panel and a battery down here in a battery box. I don't know why they don't include the battery box with the kit. I'll link it below though, it's awesome. So they are in a complete second layer. So even if a predator got through one, they'd have to deal with the second layer there. So this has been working really good. I have a little solar fan that automatically just moves air once the sun gets on the solar panel going in here, although that's not needed. I'll link below this feeder kit. It automatically just dispenses food. I'll show you the watering. Royal Rooster brand. And then daily, this just needs shaken out to get kind of the dirt sitting on the bottom out of the troughs. And then when it gets low, refilled. You can, in the summertime heat, put a little bit of an electrolyte probiotic in here for them when it gets really hot. And then I absolutely love these. They're made here in Southern California, Ramona. It just has a float valve. So as it fills up, it has fresh water. I have the fence trimmed so I can do it from outside without coming in. I can just grab, shake it out. It'll auto refill itself. They're always gonna have water with this. And 2 sources. So if you have electrolytes or hydration in here, they have just pure water as well. So really like this system. So the water dish, as mentioned, I cut just a small enough hole where a predator can't get through there, but I can just grab, shake that out, throw it back, and they have fresh water. Makes it really easy to do fresh water every single day that way. Next, for some enrichment, they have a little swing. They will play with it. We had a mirror in here for a while. I should put one back in because they love mirrors all the way down from the time they're baby chicks. Babies, they love looking in a mirror. This is a dust bath. So I covered it so it stays dry even when it rains in here. And this is just a mix of diatomaceous earth. It's a kind of a little bit of sand. It's a pre-made dust bath. A little bit of that has some herbs from our garden, some lavender, dried out and thrown in there, some dust from around the yard, just dry, dusty. It should be dusty and they love it. It's really important for them to be able to go in there. That dust and grit really cleans them out, gets the oils off of them, and I guess it gets rid of the pesticides as well. Just a little enrichment, an extra place to hide. Feel like they have cover. Works out great as well. In here, they're fertilizing our avocado tree for us. Just make sure there's no toxic plants in there. But that's the gist. Again, water elevated, so that as they're scratching around, you can already see there's some in there. This was dumped out yesterday, so not bad, but elevated is great. Also, some tree, some shade over there, some sunny spots. Some people would say to cover the entire thing, you could use kind of a corrugated barn tin, etc. for that roof, which is great if you're building your initial frame. Maybe put it as a slope, so you could choose to do that later. If you're in an area with a lot of rain all the time, we're pretty dry here. We're arid kind of desert, eastern San Diego. So we don't get a ton of rain, and we don't have a lot of waterfowl flying back and forth or really bird flu in the area. But waterfowl, ducks, geese can carry bird flu if they're flying over and pooping in. I haven't really heard of it happening, but if you want to be extra safe, go ahead and cover your entire area. Just make sure it has proper ventilation all the way around if you're going to do that, so it doesn't get too hot. I went ahead and modified, extended. I cut out a 5-gallon bucket and put a screw top on it. So now my food container has a 5-gallon additional reserve. And I will give it a little shake to make sure it's coming out, reach and scoop the dust out of the bottom of this in here. The reason this is inside this second layer of finer mesh is because rats love chicken food. I had it out here next to the water, and rats would come in, they'd go through those larger 2-inch by 4-inch holes, no problem, and they would come and raid. Had rat issues. Now we have the second door, fine screen. This is enclosed inside at night. I like being able to, if I did want to, I had a predator issue, we had a breach, I had to take it down to work on it, etc. I like being able to close, and I can use a magnet to close these doors the way they work. So even if I just want to work on the coop, leave the gate open, I can lock them in here. They have outdoor space now, they have fresh airflow, and they're locked inside this inner house. So I really like this setup of doing the self-contained coop with a larger area, even with a, I guess it'd be tertiary run area. All right, a little bit more about the coop here and the purchase. So this is called a reverse rollout nesting box. Oh, sorry about that. So as you can see, the eggs will roll out. I guess just one egg for the day so far. Another one on its way. And funny enough, they will. But see how clean they are? They get no poop on them. They roll. It discourages brooding as well because they don't have a stack of eggs sitting there underneath them to be pooping on and to be heating up. So this has really been a great upgrade. Now, hey Cluckles, how you doing, girl? You want to say hi? Just great birds. They do make great pets, honestly. Oh, sorry. Oh. So after a quick break, a little fresh topping of pine shavings and diatomaceous earth. Again, once a week, take the poop off the ladder, and you are good to go. We'll put our nesting box back in here. Make sure we're topped off with food. Oh yeah, I don't think I got to show you earlier. Here is what our blend ends up looking like of all of those foods mixed together. Chili flakes, the kelp meal, bird seeds, some sunflower seeds. Oh, and grit. Forgot all about grit. Now let's talk eggs real quick. I mean, the eggs are absolutely fantastic from the backyard chickens, but how many do you get? So, as I mentioned before, something like 4 to 6 months, usually hens will start to lay eggs. They'll generally lay almost every day, depending on the variety. If they're happy, temperatures are right during the summertime. So they will slow down quite a bit in the winter, but you could rely on average in the summer, each hen to lay more than every other day, so something like 5 days a week, 1 egg a day. Now, they say prime production is the first 3 to 4 years of their life. They'll live to be 10 to 15 years. So what you decide to do with your hens once they start to slow down in production, they'll keep laying for a few more years, but I think something like 8 years, they're probably gonna start to shut down pretty much entirely. If you keep them around, if you eat them, I guess that's your choice. But just do be advised, so you have to keep adding to your flock eventually anyways. Free ranging, as much as they love it, and we love it as well. And I will let the kids come out here and play with them in free range. They love the getting more diverse diet of coming out here and fertilizing the yard. They love eating the grass. They look everywhere for bugs, and they are great about bugs. People in the Midwest say, if you have a tick problem, just get chickens and they will take care of it. Sometimes they will eat stuff you don't want them to. They'll get up in your raised beds, destroy stuff if you're not watching them closely, and they will come and scratch everywhere. As they scratch, they, before you know it, your entire yard looks like that in a very short amount of time of having them out. And they kind of poop everywhere, big nasty piles. They'll be wanting to get up on your furniture and right outside the door and pooping up on the patio. Also because of the serious predator threat. Everything wants to eat chickens. I mean, everything. We get bobcats. We were having bobcats in the middle of the day, coming in, just sitting up here on top of the coop. We lost a chicken, and then one took another chicken, but I actually chased the bobcat down and got the chicken back. There are special backyard chicken veterinarians that maybe in your area that will come by. Finding a vet that'll do avian bird can be a little bit hard though. I had to keep her in a tent in the garage. The reason for that is because you don't want flies getting in the open wounds. She had some big lacerations. It's keeping it clean daily with, it's called Vetricin. Pick up a bottle of their poultry one. It's great for any sort of wound irritation on the birds. It's just a nice light sterilizer. But then I also got an antibiotic. Let me find the name of it. It's a powder that I was putting in her water and food every day. After 2 weeks in the garage, she was good to reintroduce, and she's doing great. That was Goldie. But because of those reasons, and there's one of those nice big nuggets, feels real good between your toes, we don't let them out to free range often. Even hawks will take chickens. Not as common, especially if you're under some tree cover here. It's not an easy yard, but we have a lot of hawks flying around here. Red tails are big enough to take them. Any sort of eagle, owl, they will take them. Possums, raccoons, anything will kill chickens. And unfortunately, sometimes it's really gruesome and they like to just go through and slaughter like your entire house full. You get a fox in there, a bobcat in there, they'll literally just kill all of them, which is very unfortunate. So my recommendation is either be out there, be watching. Having a rooster around really helps. Having dogs that are actually watching, and our dogs are kind of old now. They're getting a little worthless with the protection side. Anyways, be out there. If I'm out here, I will let them out for a little bit, but in general, they do not get to free range as much as I would have liked to thought that they would get to. Now that being said, I will use them strategically. So if I'm spreading out compost, I will let them go scratch through it, pick out the grubs, the bugs and such, and leave a little extra nitrogen in my compost, so they can be good for that. Or anytime I'm kind of clearing an area or picking up, I don't know, if there was a tarp over an area and it's gonna have a ton of slugs and bugs and earwigs underneath it, I'll let them go clear the area and get that added protein in their diet. The noise. Lovely, isn't it? For whatever reason, our girls, when it comes time to doing their duty, they get protective of the space. They want to let you know all that hard work they're putting in for you. So we get quite a bit of this around 10 o'clock till 1 p.m. every day as they're laying their eggs. And it can be quite annoying. Before and afterwards, as they're coming and going. Barry here, our Wyandotte, loves to let you know, but looks like Goldie's letting us know right now too. So it's kind of the nice thing about a closable window is you can let them have their space in there. Probably see, yep, here we go. She's in there doing her duty. When they're actually in the box, I don't squirt them with a squirt gun, although I may put a little shot of water if it's really getting that crazy up in the eave. But I do keep a squirt gun nearby, one of these guys, and I can just ever so quickly dip it in the dog water and then just shoot a little squirt that way with a little shushing action. And they say you can train it out of them. It helps without a doubt. You can quiet them down fairly quick, but they're gonna make some noise. So for resources, please, you know, stuff like this, hopefully it's helpful to you. The links below hopefully can be of some help, and it absolutely helps out the channel. As I mentioned, a PDF guide outlining all this, the ratios, etc. I'm going to link for free download below as well. There are, well, especially here in San Diego, although I'm sure it's everywhere, there are Facebook groups such as San Diego Backyard Chickens. Great resources, can search through there. I've been able to utilize that anytime I have a question or an issue, see if one's available in your local area. That's where I found this backyard chicken vet that specialized in backyard chickens. Great rate, and would come to me, examine the whole flock once a year when he's down in the San Diego area. I think he was from kind of Orange County, but he was awesome as well. All those resources are absolutely available there.